We today are going to be doing my makeup. I'm gonna try not to do a complete and total full beat because I feel like I accidentally do that a lot of the time. Literally for no reason at all, I just accidentally turn my makeup into a full beat. Today I'm just going for a natural look. Hopefully I'm taking out my nose piercing. Just because I'm like literally just going to the mall and stuff. So we will see how that goes. Sorry about the weird shadows. I like don't know how to fix that. For my skin prep, I'm gonna use this Glow Recipe, the like watermelon drops sunscreen. This is just Ulta MD because my face is probably still sensitive post Accutane. And then this is the moisturizer I use, just the plain vanilla cream. And then I use this like Nivea cream that's like really thick, just like underneath my eyes and like in dry places. Okay, next step is the moisturizer. I try to let everything like soak in a little bit before I put the next step on, just so nothing like pills or anything. Need water. And let that soak a little bit. And then I'm just using this Nivea cream. I usually just put this in these areas. I think that obviously being moisturized makes your skin look the best. So having a moisturized base underneath the makeup obviously like makes it look smoother. And these are the places I feel like usually get like cakey. Sometimes I put on a little too much, but it's moisturizer, so it'll just soak in. This was like kind of a scab, not really anymore, but I put it on those too just so like because sometimes obviously like when you put on makeup over a scab, it like does that weird thing where it like attaches to it obviously and then like it kind of flakes. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that. I just use this e.l.f. primer. Yeah, I've been using it for a long time and my makeup genuinely like lasts all day long. I usually come back from the bars and it still looks really good, and I'm like, why am I taking this off? But like I go to work all day and my makeup looks good when I wear it to work. So I honestly think that I have a pretty good makeup routine down. Yeah, so it starts with this, and I think my setting spray also helps. And I just kind of put it all over my face. I like try to focus it under my eyes so that my under eye makeup doesn't crease, and on my nose. Since I've been on Accutane, my skin has been a lot less oily, but I feel like I would normally focus it on my nose, my chin, my forehead, because those were the spots that used to be the most oily on me. But I just stopped Accutane about a week and a half ago, so we'll see if my skin returns back to being greasy. I know it takes a couple of months for the Accutane to like fully be out of your body, but I'm excited because I can get more piercings. I don't know if it's like a common side effect that people experience, but my ear piercing started to get really irritated, even though I've had all of them for like over a year at this point. Like my freshest one was I did probably a year before I started Accutane, and then my second and third I've had for a while. I did my thirds during COVID. My seconds I got when I was in high school, and then my first I had when I was 4, and even my first hole was getting like really irritated. This is the foundation I've been using recently. I honestly think it's amazing. I was using Haus Labs, but this is less coverage, and like this is barely a breakout. It's kind of a breakout on a mole that I have, so it's like there's normally a spot there anyway. Anyway, but I mixed these two shades. I only put like a little tiny bit of this one, to be honest, but it's a L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum foundation. I think it looks very natural, which I like, because I like obviously looking like I have makeup on, but the texture, I like it to look like skin. Obviously, that is the goal. So yeah, I'm really a big fan of these. I was using them a year ago ish, and then I switched to Haus Labs because my skin was bad, and I started Accutane and realized I didn't need to be using Haus Labs. I also have used the Hourglass skin tint. I was like, what is it called? And I do like that, but I feel like I like the texture of this one better. Like, it looks better under powders and stuff, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like my Hourglass one, I can see my pores and stuff more. Okay, this is where we're gonna try not to do full beat. I'm not letting myself put any more layers of this on, and my under eye concealer has to be light. Because don't get me wrong, I love a full beat, but there is also a time and place for it, and I'm not trying to look like I'm going to the club at 12:17 p.m. I'm just having a calm, chill day, so I don't need to be doing all that, which, like, it isn't a bad thing, but I'm just trying to, I don't want to be wearing all that makeup right now, especially since my skin is so good. I'm trying to, like, not make her crazy. This is just like a random, I think it's a Sonia Kashuk beauty blender from Target. I love how big it is. So that's what I use to blend my foundation. I know, like, people say that brushes don't suck up as much product, but I just, like, I don't know, I don't like how streaky. I feel like no matter how hard I try, when I use brushes, I always end up with streak marks in my makeup, which I didn't love. And I really only wear like foundations or anything at this point to even out my skin tone, because with Accutane, I feel like my skin just gets really red. It's just, like, obviously more sensitive, so I feel like it just gets a little more red, and I'm trying to prevent that. My cheeks and stuff get really red, but I don't know if that happened before I started Accutane. I can't really remember. This is just a mini Hourglass concealer. I'm just gonna put on, like, a little tiny bit on, like, the parts that are still red. I have, like, a scar right here, but I need to stop myself because I will go crazy. I let it sit for, like, just a little bit, so it gets, like, tacky. Not tacky, I don't know what the right word is. It dries a little bit, and then the beauty blender doesn't soak up as much. Next up is, what is this? Contour. Bronzer? Contour? I don't know. I use this NYX one. I was using the Say Beauty, like, liquid, whatever, contour, but I just felt like it started looking, like, muddy on my face, and I don't know why, so I switched to this. It's kind of light, so it's more of a contour, but I just, like, warm it up in my hand. I, like, don't know how much I love the shade, but it's what we have, so that's what I'm using. Yeah, so I start off just putting it in these places, and then I do also put it on my nose, but that happens after I blend this out. This stuff blends out so easy. I honestly do really like it. I used to use it, God, I don't even know when, maybe when I was at school, but I stopped for some reason. I was using the Fenty contour as well, but that just, like, was really, the shade I bought was too orange. I didn't really like it that much, but it was good, I think. I remember liking it. This is also where I tend to, like, not, like, go crazy, but, like, trying to be natural so I don't need a ton of bronzer. Also, with my hair being this blonde, I forget that makeup shows up in your hair, so I need to try not to get it in there. Okay, so I just do that, and then I usually take whatever foundation and concealer is left on my beauty blender and just, like, carve out underneath here. Then for my nose, I just do, like, 2 lines. Then a curve right there, and then a slight one underneath of my nose. And then I usually start off with my fingers and try to blend it out a little before I take the beauty blender to it, because sometimes the beauty blender, like, takes off what is underneath. up here on my nose specifically. I don't know why. I'm just gonna do this. I need to figure out what I'm gonna wear. I don't know if I said this, but I'm just going like since we're stored in the mall. But okay, I'm taking a lighter shade of the Hourglass concealer, same one, different shade than I was using before, but same type of concealer. And I just do like a little tiny bit down there to kind of accentuate, I don't know, the nose contour. I started doing my concealer under my eyes before I do my blush now. This is where I need to really rein it in. Last night I put on so much. I usually mix these two shades because this one's really bright and this one's dark, a little dark for me. So today I'm going to go really easy and just do a little teensy. Oh, that was more than I wanted. And a little bit there. And then a little also tiny bit here and there. Okay, I did not need to do that. But I'm gonna blend out these ones. Just like a little highlight moment. I just take my finger and start this blending process. And I kind of do the sides of my nose too to like help the contour situation. Okay, this is also not light makeup at all. Like, I don't know why I even tried to say that it was. This, I'll just kind of, I don't know, blend it more with the Beauty Blender. And I drag it down a little bit because I feel like these parts of my cheeks like still are kind of red. This is what we're looking like so far. Also, I'm so sorry for all the noises outside. I know it's been like the entire time I've been doing this. I use the Charlotte Tilbury blush. I switch between this and this Rare Beauty one. This is in the shade Encourage. I do really like this, but recently I've been liking a brighter pink blush, so I've been using this. I've been using this one. I'm just kind of like that. I put a little on my eyelid, a little on my nose. Yeah. And it looks like kind of intense right now, but when I put powder on it stops looking that way. And then I just kind of take my Beauty Blender and like blend out this edge part here so that the concealer meshes with the blush. And then I take this Pixi bronzer stick, Beach Glow. I just put this on my eyes. I love, like, I think it looks good with my eyes, a bronzed lid. So then I just use this brush that I use for my bronzer, and I just do this. And then this is a setting spray I use. It's just a Milani one, just the original. I really like it. I spray it once before I put all my powder products on, and then I spray it lightly after I do everything else. And I think that is that also helps what helps my makeup last all day. I don't know if you heard that, but someone just told someone else they need to stop being a fucking whore outside. So there's that. Anyway, I do like a pretty decent amount for the first sides, and then this is really like ratch, not ideal. I buy these fans from the Dollar Tree and I love them, but I break so many of them because I like aggressively fan my face, and then the things just always end up snapping. But hey, they're $1, so it's fine. And I just take my Beauty Blender and kind of like press that in. This is the powder I use. It's the talc free one. I also don't love the shade I bought in this, but there's so much that I just haven't bought a new one because I don't want to waste it. You know, I might just buy the translucent one, but this is like translucent extra coverage, which I don't love. And then I just use my Beauty Blender. I do my eyes first so they don't like crease. I blend out all the creasing. I take this like powder puff, take some powder, and then I try not to move my eyes, and then I just do that. But I don't know if you can like see what I mean. It's like definitely like has a whiter tint to it. I'm like so aggressive with everything I do. I don't know why. I'm heavy-handed, I guess. And then I take whatever's on my hand and I kind of just do this. I do my nose also. Yeah, but I also feel like putting on powder is how I make my makeup look kind of flawless. And then I do these. I kind of carve out where underneath where my bronzer is. I don't really like bake necessarily. And then a little on my forehead, and then I'll just use a brush and lightly do the rest. Yeah, just like the spots that get the most oily. And then I just take this random powder brush. I bring it down my neck. I kind of dust off any excess, especially under my eyes. Next, I do my bronzer, powder bronzer and powder blush. This is not the normal powder bronzer I use. I normally use the Physicians Formula one. If my sister could hear me, she'd be mad at me for bringing this up, but I let her borrow it. And she forgot to bring it back. I bought this one yesterday and I'm just using it for now. And I just use this, I literally bought this on TikTok shop. I just kind of swirl it. That's like also not the color I really want. But we have to make do, so I just do like a little bit of this. In the same places I put the cream. I always like wipe off the strap. Again, trying not to go crazy with this today. And then I also just go same. We did the nose. For blush, I just use this Hourglass one in the shade Sublime Flush. It's the ambient lighting blush. I don't know why it's like started turning gray on some of it. I know, I think it has to do with like oils or something. I don't know, but whatever. And this is also pretty pigmented, but I do really like the color of it. Next I do my eyebrows, and I just use this L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer in the shade Brunette. And I don't really fill my eyebrows that much these days because they actually match my hair. When my hair was darker, I used to like have to really fill them in because they did not match at all, or I would like dye them. Like you can still kind of see, can you? Yeah, the like freckles I have on my face. So I just do like a little tiny bit to bring those back out. I don't really do the full like freckles all over, but I have a few like moles right here that I kind of lightly. Okay, and then I just use this e.l.f. eyebrow gel. I'm not a fan of the whole like feathered brow look, so I just do mine like that. And then I also use this as eyeliner. I just do like a very light wing sometimes. I don't think those are even at all. I actually don't know how this happens. I like try to do natural makeup and then I end up looking like this without filler every time. Which I feel like I'd rather have this problem than the opposite. Because I feel like I used to... Actually, I don't know what I'm talking about. Just let me shut up. Just light. And then usually I use this brush and put like bronzer on my eyelids. Today I'm going light, so we're not doing that. But I'm just using whatever's on here to dry off the setting spray. Or dry off my eyelids. And like just put a little more color on there. Because the eyelash curler kind of picks up makeup on there sometimes. And then I just use this Tweezers Shiseido eyelash curler. My lashes have like this eye in specific has not been giving recently, but we're gonna attempt. Okay, and then I just use the regular telescopic mascara. I don't really like waterproof mascara because it's a pain to get off. I don't really have a technique for this. I do the ends of my lashes first, and then I go under. I try to be light so it doesn't get clumpy. I take a lot of time on my lashes, but that's what they look like, and I'm not mad about it today. So I use this Dior palette. It's just like glittery shades, and I use the white one for a little inner corner highlight. This brush is I think from Amazon or something. I don't know. I don't have any like nice brushes. Nose, upper lip, and then just rub on a little. And then I take my blush brush and I'd use the pink one just a little bit. just use a spoolie to get mascara off my lids. My hair is pissing me off. But I'm gonna put my nose piercing back in, and then I just need to do my lips. I used 2 lip liners. This is Rhode in the shade Twist. I lost the cap of my bag. So I start off with this one. I honestly wasn't expecting to like this as much as I do. But now I want more color. My issue is I always buy lip liners in the same color, so I don't think I need any more. I have a bunch in the same colors. Okay, this is where also things get crazy. Like, I don't need all of this right now, but whatever. And I kind of just blend it in my finger a little bit. And then this is MAC World. I kind of just go over the edges a little bit on this one. And I just put Aquaphor on top. I use Aquaphor because it's my favorite lip product, to be completely honest. It's like glossy and it also actually hydrates my lips. I don't think I'm gonna do anything to my hair because I'm lazy, so we can ignore the hair. But this is the final makeup. Yeah, that's my whenever I do makeup look. Again, accidental. Don't look at that, that's messy. Again, turned into an accidental full beat, but what can you do?